want some grades on these, right?
Yes. What's going on, guys? So, 1 o'clock on Thursday. A couple things first. So, number one, I've gotten a lot of PMs about Prism. We'll have more Prism drop today. We'll probably do some 2 to 3 box pick your teams and random teams. So there will be Prism coming. What's up, Balder? What's up, Spencer? Number 2, and probably the thing that has been dropped SGC to a 1 on price. Absolutely, probably the thing that's been driving me the most nuts for the past 24 hours is fucking grading. So grading's been a whirlwind. What I did was I set up this little chart. Grading has been an absolute whirlwind, and this is what I want to go over. We were looking to get grading up in the group, and we've gotten it up and we've gotten it kind of moving. What's up, Herman? What's going on, Chandler? We've gotten it up, we've gotten it kind of moving, and it's been one hurdle after another trying to get it done. Grading, unfortunately, is a necessary evil for sports cards nowadays. It is. It is what it is. Everybody's doing it. If you want to get top dollar for your card, you have to grade it. If you want your cards to be protected, grading's a great way to do that. So there's a lot of benefits to it, and that's great. Problem is, there are the longer sports cards. They're all straight said F you, Brian. The problem is all of the new people coming into sports cards are doing the same thing. They're grading fucking everything. So they're grading, thousands of base Prism rookies, and they're grading top end cards too, of course. But the volume has just gotten out of control between that and between the amount of cards that Panini is printing, obviously. So the good news is the industry is very strong. The bad news is it's resulted in a lot of shitty growth for grading companies in particular. And back in earlier this year, there was some price hikes for some of the major companies. BGS, I think, basically doubled. PSA went up a little bit. I think they went up in January, and then at the end of February, they had a huge fucking hike. SGC has gone up, I think, 3 times this year. At least twice, if not 3 times this year. HGA's newer. They're doing their thing. And then you have CSG, who is also newer-ish to the card market. So I spent some time doing some research. I set up this little graph. It's not something to use as set it in stone, but it's what I've been able to kind of pull together from all of the research that I've done. So what I did was I took the 5 of the major grading companies, if not the 5 biggest, and I added what I consider to be important statistics. We added cost for grading. We added turnaround time. We added secondary market value. We added grading transparency, which is essentially companies telling you how they grade things and what they grade, on. We added pop report data. We added company history. We added submission availability. And then we added any technology that they're using. Because I think we all know, and I think we've all known this for a while, that grading companies are going to be heading in the technology direction. It's going to be taken out of the hands of humans in the not too distant future, I think. And it's going to be machines that are grading most of these cards. So I think a company that's using technology is a big plus right now. So let's start in the top row. Let's look at cost. PSA has just gotten wildly out of control. The reason PSA has a 2 is because they just continue to scale up with value. So if you have a card that's worth $15,000, you're paying like thousands of dollars to grade it. It's fucking stupid. And that might be not that might not be right. It might be like $800 to grade a $15,000 card. I can't remember, but it scales up and it scales up. They've gotten rid of all sorts of value and low end submissions. They have a value one that I think is around 30-ish bucks, but you can't submit to it right now, which we'll get to in a second. And when you do submit to it, it's a year turnaround. So I mean, it's almost like it's just fucking nuts. BGS, BGS. So BGS's cost has essentially doubled since the beginning of the year as well, I believe. Where BGS has a little bit of value is, on their cost at least, is with no subgrades. The problem with no subgrades is it makes it hard to sell, unless you get like a 10 or something. But what's cool, what I do like about BGS and their no subgrade cost is it's a nice slab and it's great for PC. So if you're not going to sell it, who gives a shit, right? You just do no subgrade, it costs you like half as much, and you get a BGS slab. That's nice. Cost for HGA is great. Really, really good cost for HGA. So that's a big plus for them. SGC can go fuck themselves. They 3x their cost overnight. Could you guys imagine? Let's look at this in another realistic scenario. So what SGC essentially did was they tripled their pricing overnight, and they cited in a letter to their customers that it was due to a competitor's move. Okay, so I applaud them for actually coming forward and saying, you know, what they're doing. But could you imagine if one day I was like, hey guys, we're raising brake pricing 300% because another breaker is 300% more expensive and they're filling their brakes. Sorry, go fuck yourself. So I just think it's really stupid. I think SGC. I think it's just a cop out. Like, oh, we don't want to turn into long wait times and blah blah blah. And oh, yeah, I'm sure they can't handle the volume. And maybe they should have. Maybe rather than, you know, increasing their pricing. And I get it. I get it from a market perspective. You want to increase your pricing because people are still going to submit. I get it. It's a business. So if you just want to run it like a business, that's fine. I think you're a fucking asshole, though. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So, that's my thought on SGC right now. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they tripled their price overnight and then blamed it on a competitor. You tripled your price overnight because you want to make more money. So just say that. Just say, we want to make more money, so we tripled our price overnight. CSG, also great pricing. CSG, arguably the best pricing here, but HGA's is really good too, which is why they both got 5s. This is a 5-point scale, guys. Lowest you can get is a 1, highest you can get is a 5. Turnaround time! PSA, congratulations. You got the lowest score possible. They're not turning around anything, guys. So even if you're paying $500-$600 a card, you're not getting it back for a month, absolute minimum. BGS, what I love about BGS, so what's cool about PSA is they actually talk about it, right? They actually tell you we're way behind. They shut down intake for a little while. You can't submit anymore except under the highest level that they have. That's great. BGS, meanwhile, is just as fucking far behind as PSA, except they don't seem to be doing anything or telling their customers about it. So if you're sending cards to BGS right now and you're not using the top level, you're never going to see those fucking cards again. It's literally going to be, it might be 24 months. You might not see those for 2 years. I don't know that for a fact, but what I do know is they're way the fuck behind. They are not acknowledging it at all from what I've seen. And anyone who's sending cards there, it's gonna be a long fucking time before you see those. So I'm real down on BGS and their turnaround time right now. HGA's turnaround time is great, but again, we'll get to the things that make HGA unusable in a little bit. But their turnaround time is really, really good. It's solid. SGC's turnaround time, again, solid, right? It's their pricing that really fucked them just recently. CSG, also very, very good turnaround time for CSG. Secondary market value, PSA king. We all know this, right? It's no surprise. PSA slabs are going to continue to be extremely strong in the market, probably forever, right? PSA is always going to be extremely strong. So that's great. BGS slabs, I don't know what it is, but they just don't seem to command the same kind of value as PSA, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I feel like they should. I feel like they should kind of be on an even playing field, but they're not. BGS just seems to have fallen behind. They used to be great. They used to be about the same, but they've just fallen behind, I feel like. HGA, bit of an unknown. There's just not enough slabs out there. SGC, a little bit behind BGS. I also think that's pretty arguable. I think BGS is a weak 4, and I think SGC and I think CSG are weak 3s. And HGA might be a weak 3 too. I think they potentially all could be 3s, or they all could be. They probably can't all be 4s because PSA is kind of king. But I think they could potentially all be 3s. I think BGS might have snuck a point on me right there. CSG in the handful of compares that I did was very strong. It was as strong as BGS. The problem is the population is really, really low. So maybe if there was an extra 100 of each one of those cards out there, or 1,000, but probably not going to be 1,000, but maybe if there was an extra 100 of these cards, each card out there, their pricing, their secondary market value wouldn't be quite as good as it's showing right now. I don't know the answer to that, but what we do have data on at this particular snapshot in time, it's strong. It's pretty strong. So let's see. SGC basically just sent all their customers to CSG on a silver platter. Yeah, absolutely. What's next? Grading transparency. So grading transparency, I put up here because it's kind of an interesting thing to me. Grading transparency means how transparent the grading companies are about what gets what. Okay? So PSA has a pretty good write-up on their site kind of explaining what a card takes to get a 10, or what it's going to be a 9, what's going to be an 8. They do a pretty good job of it. BGS, I wasn't able to find much. They're still like this fucking mystery, like behind the curtain Wizard of Oz type bullshit. If someone has an article or something where it gives a lot of description, please send it my way. I couldn't find much on them. HGA gives a little bit. They give a little bit away, and then there's some mystery behind them as well. SGC, I couldn't find much either. I kind of wanted to give SGC a 1 here because I couldn't find shit, but it's hard to give a 1 just because I didn't spend hours and hours looking up SGC. I spent a little bit of time looking up SGC, and I just couldn't find anything. CSG gives a bunch of information. They give some detailed shit on what a perfect 10 is, what a 10 is, what a 9 is, and it's pretty cool. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to add here. Hang on. I meant to add this before. I'm going to call it Pie in Sky. PSA is going to get a 2 on this. BGS is going to get a 5 on this. HGA is going to get a... I think I don't remember if they have anything, so I'm going to give them a 3 for now. SGC will get a 5, and CSG will get a 5 on this as well. We've got grading transparency. So that was grading transparency. Pop report data. PSA 5. Great pop report. They give you a whole bunch of information. It's easy to find. It's easy to navigate. BGS, again, great pop report. Awesome stuff. HGA got a 3, and here's why. They don't currently have a pop report. However, they have talked about getting one as volume increases. So, all right, I'll applaud them. They know that a pop report's important. SGC's got a pop report, and it's fine. CSG also does not have a pop report, and they've also cited its lack of data, and they do have one coming. So that's great. All right, company history. PSA 5. Yup, you guys are awesome. BGS. I gave BGS a 4 just because I don't think they're quite at PSA's level in their company history. I know that PSA and BGS have both had lawsuits and bullshit like that around giving out like phantom grades kind of as well. So I don't know. I didn't really want to roll that in here. I didn't really think that was fair. One thing about PSA's history is they used to give out 10s like they were candy, and they've since stopped. I feel like they almost changed their grading scales, which is a little bit weird, but it is what it is. HGA has no company history at all. SGC has been around a long time. However, I don't know. I just feel like historically they've been around for like 20 years or something like that, since like 1999 or something. But they are still like not that well known. So you're just not doing something right. If you've been around for 20 years and you're still like, you're not really a market competitor, you're only a market competitor because the market's exploded and the top dogs can't handle volume. So I feel like their company history is a little bit low. CSG, This was a tough one. So CSG, from my card grading perspective, they'd be a 1. However, they are among the market leaders in both comic books and coins, and I think paper money or something like that too. But they've been doing those for a long time, which I love and which makes me believe that they probably have processes in place to handle volume. They've probably been down this road before. Now, is paper money volume the same as sports cards? No. But comic books probably had a huge uptick at one point, right? So they probably went through some adversity trying to figure out how they were going to handle volume for grading comic books. Maybe coins did too. I have no idea. I'm not into the coin or comic book or paper money markets, so I don't know the answer to that. But that's why I gave them a 3 there. Submission availability, PSA. PSA got a 3, and here's why. They should have gotten a fucking 1. They had a 1, and then I changed it to a 3. Because you do still have the ability to submit with them, and they have acknowledged what's going on, and they have acknowledged that very soon you will have a way to submit with them. So it's going to be another few months, but you will be able to submit again. They're targeting July 1st as having every level back on. We'll see if that happens or not. BGS, they got a 5. You can submit with them. They haven't told anybody that you're never going to see your cards again, but you can still submit with them. So they might as well get a 5, right? You can't hold other. I try to be very very exclusive to each one of these things, and you can't hold it against them. You're never going to see your cards again. You can still submit them, right? HGA is getting a 2. I probably should have gave them a 1, but I know they're trying to get better. We have tried to submit to HGA probably 7 or 8 times at this point, and we have not gotten into the lottery a single time. I really like HGA. I like what they're trying to do. I don't like that you can't submit cards with them. Like, who would, right? I don't want to sit in a fucking lottery like Top Shot every single time I want to grade a card. And then if you do get in their lottery, you can only do 5 cards at a time. So their availability is just dog shit, and unfortunately, it makes them unusable. SGC and CSG both have plenty of availability. SGC has told us they have plenty of availability, and that's why they tripled their pricing overnight. CSG, they don't have anybody submitting to them right now, probably, so they should have a fuck ton of availability. Technology! PSA uses some. I wasn't able to dig up a ton on PSA, but I know they use some technology. I don't know. I don't think BGS has any technology. I think they still use like fucking paper forms, I think, even though I think they let you do electronic. I don't know. It just feels like BGS is stuck in mud from what I've been able to gather. I don't think they're using much technology at all right now. HGA is trying to tout themselves as being the most technology-driven grading company, which is obviously where the future is going with all of this. So I gave them a 4, even though they don't use technology for everything. They do use it for some stuff. SGC, as far as I know, doesn't use much technology at all. CSG also uses technology. They use it specifically for centering and possibly for card size. Centering and card size, I believe, is what I read that they used it for. I would read up on CSG. I read a ton yesterday. Obviously, I can't retain everything, so I believe that it might be centering and card size that they use it for. I don't think it was surface. Yeah, I think that was it. Centering and card size. Pie in the sky! This is when you submit. So when you submit and you want to hit the lottery, right? It's super, super fun. You submit a card and you're like, I have a chance to hit something fucking huge. With PSA, 10's the best you can do. That's it. A lot of cards will 10. It doesn't matter if it's like a 10 of 10 of 10 of 10, or if it's like a 9.5, 9.5, 10, 9.5, and they just give you a 10 because someone was hungover and they just felt like giving you a nice grade that day. No, like there is a pie in the sky that you can go for. With PSA, there is none. It's just a 10. That's it. With BGS, they have black labels. That's fucking awesome. Everybody wants to go after a black label. That's super fun. HGA, I don't remember if they have a special label or not. That's why I gave them a 3. Let's give them a 5. Let's pretend they do, because they're behind. Let's give them a 5. I don't remember. SGC does have I think it's a golden label if it's a 10 and it's just a perfect card. CSG also has one. They have 2 separate 10s, just like BGS. They have a 10, I think they call it a pristine 10, and then they have a perfect 10, they call it. I don't know what the label looks like. I don't know if it's the same stupid fucking green one that they have, but yeah, they do have this pie in the sky, like a perfect 10 with all 10 subgrades. So that's super, super cool. Few other things about these companies. Let's see. We have... I did want to talk about a couple other things. What were they? Oh, group submissions. I didn't bother putting this in, but no one has group submissions or bulk discounts except for PSA and CSG. PSA's bulk discount. You have to spend $100,000 with them in a calendar year. That's super attainable, especially when their prices are dog shit. CSG, I don't know how you get into be a group submitter. HGA does have 1 for perfect 10s. Awesome. Thank you, Dan. So we'll leave a 5 on them. So that's good for them. CSG does have group submissions. I don't know much else about it. So I don't know if that would allow us to get a nice discount and then be able to, use them a bunch and get really, really nice pricing. I'm not really sure what's up with that one. So I'm going to find out more. I have a CSG submission going in. I have one going in today and another one going in next week. I'm going to be sending a couple hundred cards down to them, seeing how their process goes and just feeling them out. As long as the process is smooth, there's good communication, and they don't magically 3x their prices overnight, I really, really, really like what I've seen out of CSG so far. So, yeah, guys, I think... I don't know. They only take a limited number of cards overall per week. You have to get in queue. I hope you're early enough for them to take your cards. Oh, Casper. Yeah, Casper. So a lottery. So the lottery for HGA, exactly. You have to sign in at a certain time, only on Thursday and Friday afternoon and evenings. You have to sign in by a certain time, and you have to have your submission already ready. And then you get assigned a random number. Okay? So if there's 10,000 people in there, you get a random number from 1 to 10,000. Then they only take like 2,100 cards per submission right now. So, and you can only do 5 cards per submission if you get into the lottery. So it starts at number 1, and they're allowed to submit up to 5 cards. And you slowly see your number go up, and then you see the amount of submissions left go down. And so you really need to get up in like the top 5% of the lottery in order to be able to submit 5 fucking cards. Okay? So let's do some math. If you have to get into the top 5% to put 5 cards in, how many cards can you get in per year? Well, if there are 8 lotteries a month, which means there's 16 lotteries every 2 months roughly, we'll give it 18. Let's give it 20 lotteries just for easy math. So there's roughly 20 lotteries every 2 months, okay? That means you're going to get in 1 every 2 months. That's 5 cards every 2 months, or 30 cards per year. So is HGA a usable grading source if you can only do 30 cards per year? I'm going to say no. They're not. They're not a viable grading source yet. They are trying to get group subs up. I think over the summer they wanted to have those up, and they are slowly increasing volume. So long term, could they be usable? Absolutely. Snapshot today of 4-1, is HGA usable? Absolutely not. They're just, you can't use them. Like, it's, you just can't use them. So do you actually have to have your submission fully entered before the lottery, or is it you get a spot, you fill out the submission? So the first time, so I don't know the answer for sure, Dan. The first time that we tried to do it, we didn't have a submission filled out, and it didn't even give us a lottery number. The next time we tried to do it, we had a submission filled out in there, and it gave us a lottery number. So I don't know if it was, because we did it, like, it was like the first day we ever did it. So we signed up for like an account and everything, and then we tried to get into the lottery, and it didn't even give us a number. So I don't know if it was something we messed up, or if it was that we didn't have anything in their system yet, and therefore it wouldn't even give us a number. So I guess I don't really know the answer to that, but from my experience and from what happened with us, it was the first time we didn't have anything in, and it didn't even give us a lottery number. The second time we had submissions set up, and it gave us a lottery number. So that's been my experience at least. But I don't know 100%. What else? What else? What else? What else? So CSG is going to get my money short term. I will report back to you guys. There is one other dark horse grading company that I think we all should consider heavily. You guys may or may not have heard of them. It's called Beast Grading. Have you guys ever heard of Beast Grading? They're a new up and comer. So what Beast Grading does is it's $1 a card. They have it back to you same day. It's overnight shipping. Everybody gets a 10, and they sell for twice as much as PSA 10s. That's what Beast Grading is. So if anyone's interested, Beast Grading. I went through. It felt like I should go through, and I should do this at least for Beast Grading. So I went through. They got a 5 for cost because they're $1 a card. Obviously, that's pretty good. Turnaround time, another 5. Same day. You mail it, they get it back to you same day. Unbelievable speed. Unfreaking believable. So they're good. Grading transparency. Oh no, secondary market value. 5. They were worth twice as much as PSA, and everyone gets a 10, which is awesome. For grading transparency, they tell you exactly what's going to happen. They're like, you're just going to get a 10. So you don't have to worry about how we're grading your card. It's just 10s across the board. It's kind of like our version of Black Label. Company history, I gave it... No, Pop Report. Yeah, so Pop Report's... It's perfect. Everyone gets a 10. So, it's really simple. You might not know how many there are out there, but you do know that they're all 10s. So, I would say that that's going to be a 5 out of 5. Company history, well, I mean, Beast does do... They do a buyback product that's really good, which tells me that they're a great company, and they're for sure going to be one of the top grading companies as well. So give them another 5. Just grab that. Just throw it out there. Submission availability. There's nothing in the queue yet. There's nothing in the queue. 5. It's another 5. Technology. Yeah. Yep. It's 5. It's another 5. Pie in the sky. Yeah. Everyone gets a 10. That's what you're going for, right? Oh, they didn't get a 5 there. We're going to give them 1, though. So overall, I think Beast Grading is where it's really at, if you really want to get technical. But if Beast Grading doesn't do it for you, then I think we're stuck with CSG for now. There was actually one other thing I wanted to talk about or tell you guys, and I kept remembering and then forgetting. And I think it was pretty important. It was another thing I didn't put on here, but I thought about putting on here. Can Beast grade bricks? Oh, what was the last thing? It was something pretty cool. I'm blanking, and I'm going to be pissed when I remember again. Turnaround time cost, secondary market value, green transparency, breasts. Not bricks. Can Beast grade breasts? Oh, man. What the hell was the last thing? Can anyone else think of anything that you look for when you're grading? It was Chandler. I need you to sell another Prism case for me. I don't know, guys. I don't remember what the last item was. But, what are you guys' thoughts? What do you guys know about this last thing you're coming out? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. There's that, huh? We weren't going to go get into that, but you should create a course. Thanks, Herbie. Yeah, don't take this to the bank, guys. It's what I've researched and how I feel, but you can't take it to the bank. If anyone is looking for grading, we do have it up on the website. We have pricing and stuff like that. Again, we're gonna give CSG a try and see how it goes and kind of go from there. Yeah, so I think CSG has to be the play until PSA redrops. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at as well, Chandler. So We're gonna give it a good run here. We're gonna see what happens, and if anybody else wants to give it a try too, let me know. If anybody, Label Look, yes, Label Look was the last thing. PSA, I think their labels are really bland and boring. I love BGS's labels. HEAs, they're fine. They're all right. SGCs, again, at least they're different. They gave that black label a look. Like, at least it's a little bit different. CSG's labels look like shit. I'm just gonna say it right now. It's like this plain green thing, and I don't know. It's fine. I think it's kind of gimmicky. I think they did it to be like, oh, it's green, it's money, you got to grade, money, it's more money. I don't know, but it's just plain. It's fine again, but it's just plain. Oh, that was the other thing. CSG offers high resolution scans. HGA, I believe, is the only other company that does that. So it's another point for technology. I fucking forgot about that. HGA, and I don't think HGA does it yet. I think they're going to offer it. But CSG offers the ability to have your card high-res scanned, which is really, really cool. So I think it's an extra $2, $3, $4, $5, something like that. I'm assuming they are going to try and incorporate it more as they go forward to market separate themselves. I would hope that because these guys have been grading coins and money and comic books for years, that they have their shit together. I could be wrong, but I would hope that they do. So I do, yeah. So all in all, guys, I'm big on CSG. I think they have a lot of pluses right now. I think they're up and coming. They're a company that knows what you need to do to keep your customers happy. They've been doing it with coins and money and comic books for I don't know how many years, but I know they've been around for a long time. I know they're one of the market leaders, if not the market leader in those particular categories. So, but it is what it is. Have I talked to HGA about future possibility group submissions? I haven't yet, Dan. I probably should soon. High res is 5 per card. Okay, but that's really cool. It's a nice piece of technology for sure. That's really, really cool. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. If they're high-res scanning, it tells me that they might be looking to incorporate more technology into the grading process as well. So, again, that's really, really cool. So, I just think, what does a high-res scan accomplish? Well, so it could be future technology, right? So it could be like if the high-res scans are able to let you look at a surface of a card and see, little dimples or little scratch marks and get like a true grading or something like that. It could be used for something awesome going forward. It does give that like blockchain type feel too. So I know some people like that. I think blockchain's kind of stupid, but machine learning plus grading equals no brainer. Yeah. So it does give that kind of blockchain type feel too. I don't know what people use it for. Maybe you use it to organize your collection, like all your CSG cards. You have them all, in high res scans too. So if you want to go sell all your shit, you can go. You can more easily put it on eBay, or you can, if we're putting it on a website, you can put high res scans in there. So let's say when we finally get the singles up on the website, if I have all these high res scans already, I throw the high res scans on there, and then people can really zoom in and they can check shit out. Like, I don't know. I see so this is a Top Shot, baby. I see there being, I don't see there being. I think the way that they use it for technology going forward in grading is probably the most valuable thing. But I see a bunch of little ancillary potential benefits to it as well, Kirby. I don't think it's worth paying the extra $5 per card right now, but if they get to a point where they're like, okay, yeah, for group submitters, we are going to offer high-res scans of every single one of your cards for free. How fucking cool would that be? So, yeah, that's another really good point, Aaron. You get a high-res scan and someone gets your slab and they're like, oh, I can see in the slab that there's a fucking scratch right here. You can be like, no, there's not a scratch right there. Look at the high-res scan. Yeah. I mean, that's another good idea too. So, I think it adds value, Kirby. I think it adds value. I think as time goes on, we may see where it adds more value. I don't know that my mind's open and creative enough to give you anything insane right now. But but I think that there is value to it, and I think there's ancillary benefits. I don't think it's worth probably $5, a pop right now to do it. But if they start incorporating into grading, or they start using it to help them grade, I think it could be really, really good. So, all right, guys, peace out, Wing. All right, guys, thank you all so much. I'm gonna go price some Prism. I'm gonna see how this CSG order's going. I hear Matt grumbling a little bit back there, but he also has said that it's smoother than the PSA submissions, so that's pretty cool as well. So, yeah, give the grading some thoughts. If you guys come up with anything else, feel free to put it onto one of the posts. I'm happy to learn and do this along with you guys. I'm just trying to find the best course of action for us as a group, guys. I would really like to find someone that we can use exclusively, or at least a ton going forward. And if we can get in with a place like CSG and they offer some group benefits, and we can submit 500, 1,000, 2,000 cards a month to them, and they just become our guy, and I think it could be a really good thing to get in early with a company like that, especially a company that's tried and true and has shown what they can do in other collecting aspects. So if they can translate it over to sports cards and we can get in with them early, I think it could be huge for us as the Big Breaks family. So thank you again, guys. We will talk to you soon. Maybe we'll see you guys tonight for some Prism breaks. If not, we'll definitely see you guys tomorrow for some. So.